This is Orange Football Special.
Hello, Kushe, and welcome to Orange Football Special, a program where they discuss, dissect, and digest what you they talk about when it comes to everything football. And like all time now, Orange Salon, the lead telecom service provider in the country, the company we care about what matter to you, they support Orange Football Special for ensure that we bring to you everything football. And of course, this now 2020, we're excited to be back because we know for sure that we'll get so much on the menu for bring to now, including the English Premier League, the La Liga, the Italian Serie A, and of course the German Bundesliga, with somebody there where they follow down religiously. We will talk to very shortly when I'll get to another particular person there. And certainly the Sierra Leone Premier League is back. Your game is back. Our own game is back. And for sure, Orange Football Special will bring to you live coverage of every match, beginning this particular, January we don't start, because we know for sure that the league don't begin since last year. Well, when I say last year, it's as if it's far away. Just a few days ago, we will bring to you every match we will play now the Siaka Stephen Stadium on the Orange Facebook page, and of course the Priority Solution Facebook page and the PLB Facebook page, all courtesy of the Sierra Leone Premier League Board and of course Orange and Priority Solution. So I don't know if now collaboration or corroborative effort, a little bit of everything. I'm very much excited, and you can see that. Well, I want to go for this quick break and I'll come back and go tell you exactly what's in the for Chacha inside this 2020.
Allez, quand ça brise ma fou.
Tombo!
Amigo, on a servi un cap. Flores, vamos rester cap. C'est dit.
Hey! Money for buy boku rest with the big fish lesson.
The money when you give me for my top up, sir.
The money we kill for buy top up. Even don't call all the people that all day na the list.
I don't call all man with Chacha 1000.
Tata 1000.
Yes.
And in my money for kill. Get up. Let me see if I can Chacha the balance.
Chacha 1000. Wow. Enjoy 10 minutes talk for small money when a 1000 euros. Just dial star 808 for subscribe, and you 10 minutes go start one time. It's so easy. Chacha 1000. You go talk sote.
Orange.
We're excited to be back. This is 2020, a brand new year, a brand new decade we're starting. We are hopeful for so much because so much on the menu for bring to now. And this now Orange Football Special, courtesy of Orange, the lead telecom service provider in the country. The company we care about what matter to you, and that make when it comes to Orange, it's all about what matters to you. Tonight we got a very special person in the studio who don't decide for Chacha, the Orange Football Special, all courtesy of Orange Sierra Leone. Of course, we're excited for telling us that this person is a TV host, an actor, how do I call it, a documentary maker, of course, an educationist, you can say, a public speaker or a motivational speaker. A little bit of everything, is made of it. A show host as well. We're excited, for bring to you this person all the way from China, from a Argentinian, I must say, and of course, above all, a Sierra Leonean. Good friend, Lloyd, Randall.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow, what an introduction to the show. You said everything that has to be said. I'm very excited to be here. Coming back home, like you mentioned, the grammar school, but firstly and most importantly, I'm a Sierra Leonean.
Most important.
Which is one of those things where many people actually watch the show I do in China. For some reason, cannot connect the dots that I'm from Sierra Leone. But I was born in Freetown, Circular Road, so it's always good to come back home.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're excited to welcome
I'm
you.
happy to be here.
Like I mentioned, we deal with a character here in this show, when I say a very, very special edition, because this is what Orange is all about, going in for the best and bringing forward the best, to honor the viewers. And I don't say this is not 2020, so we'll get for start with a difference, and every other thing we'll get for do, we'll get for build a different one, for go with a bang. Certainly, this is not a man of multiple facets, as far as skills are concerned. You already begin lay the platform talking about grammar school. So let's talk about, who really is Godfrey from the beginning.
From the beginning, okay, Godfrey, I get multiple names. You say most Creole people then get several names.
Yeah, I know. If Creole man, they will get 3 names, then it's mostly questionable.
It's mostly 3 names.
And plus.
Plus, it's sudden not 4. So, Godfrey, Lloyd, obviously, where I grew up in Sakila Road, the one day where I grew up with, they know me as Olafume as well.
Okay.
I was born at Sakila Road. I went to the FBC primary school.
Okay.
After I left there, I went to the Selwyn Grammar School, which is where I really blossomed, met some very, very good characters in my life. man, will push me, for be better. Because the grammar school where you go, the good thing about it, you get challenges. Man, they would really push you.
Yeah, for sure. To the limit.
To the limit. Beyond limit, man. So all those guys made me who I am today. From there, I go commerce for a semester. Strangely, I was going to be a medical doctor. My grades were fine for that, but I had a different calling. So right now I'm doing something different. So that's just a synopsis of who I've been and up to the stage where I am right now.
Wow, from the theater, or from the route to the theater,
Yes.
To the studios of the world, particularly Start Time.
Yeah.
So, when you left grammar school, you say you go College of Medicine for like a semester.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did change your course?
When I left grammar school back then, we had this thing of where if you don't go commerce and FPC, you forget good grades and stuff. So I really excelled at the grammar school doing my WAS and Baker exams. And then when I go commerce, for some reason, my parents then always want me to be a medical doctor. And which is why at some point in my life, I'm definitely going to have a PhD. It's definitely, yeah. Because I don't promise me that, say at some point I will be Dr. Randall. So where I go commerce, for some reason, I just didn't like the medical thing because I have this thing of going to the hospital. I never feel comfortable when I'm there. Okay. If I insist for continuing medical school, I will be a miserable doctor because I like caring for children, but I don't like to see suffering.
Okay.
So I would have been,
so you can put the two together.
Yes, and I make a change course. But actually, back then, I never knew how my route would go because actually, I do have a degree in engineering. But I just felt like sometimes some things just come to you naturally. And I felt that TV presenting and TV hosting and being in front of the camera was something I was meant to do. And that's how my life has just completely done a U-turn. So, but at the end of the day, I think I'm grateful for where I'm at, and it's good so far.
Well, for those who ask why is Engineer Benson Bauer always in front of the camera, you've heard it from Randall. So it's about what you like, what you love doing best. Regardless of what you're capable for do. If you don't enjoy doing it, you cannot excel
you
in
won't.
it.
Right.
So, like you mentioned, you are never going to excel being a medical doctor because the environment wasn't right for you.
Yes.
As far as your persona is concerned. Then came China.
Yes.
And then with the area about acting, you're into acting. I know of 2 standout movies.
Yes.
Where you don't do, and of course a lot of documentaries as well. So a lot talk about this transformation from the how do I call it, small classrooms of College of Medicine to China, and then this platform.
So when I got to China, initially I started doing a course because when you go to China, the first thing you have to do is to study in Chinese. So I did my Chinese course, and at some point in time I was unsure because initially I was going to do mechanization. So then I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that. I had been so indecisive up to that point in my life. So then one thing led to the other. Then I started doing a degree in IT. So once I was doing the IT course, that was going on fine. But then all of a sudden, there came these auditions that I went to. Okay. I will never forget the first audition I went to was for a TV commercial. And I went to the audition. The audition was so successful. And then after that, the opportunities just keep rolling in. And ultimately, I remember there's a time where there was an opening at this TV station. They were looking for presenters. And it was being conducted by a guy from ESPN because they felt he had the know-how to do this. So I showed up. I didn't expect much. I just felt like I was very confident enough because I'd been in TV series before that. I went to the audition, and then it just took off. The guy said, "I want to see you next time." I went the next day, and the rest is history. I've been doing this ever since. It's a very whirlwind situation where something led to the other, and before you know it, boom. Like you said, sometimes you have a call and a destiny, and I think my destiny is this.
Destiny is this, indeed. Your destiny is this. Now, this is Orange Football Special you are watching. And of course, we know when it comes to Orange, it's all about what matters to you. Somebody going to say, Orange Football Special, acting, TV host, why not typical football? Well, when we get to that point, you know exactly why this young man is here, why this gentleman is here. But, to every life, there are other parts of the life, so another set of parts in the one for exactly looking to, so exactly what that this character will be. Like I mentioned, there are 2 outstanding movies where you don't do, and when One Night Stand and China Salesman. So tell me exactly how you go into the acting world.
Actually, the China Salesman movie was a blessing, because obviously it was my first, I would say, big movie that had a Hollywood element to it. Because the shooting production was from the US, China, and Hong Kong. It was the first time I did an action movie, and I was very lucky enough to be Mike Tyson's stunt double. And it's funny, when destiny calls, it's incredible. So They came to China to shoot this movie. They were looking for different characters. So they were looking for guys to go audition. So I showed up to the audition. They were struggling to find a Tyson stunt.
Okay.
So initially I went to audition for a different role.
And this Tyson you are talking
It's
about
Mike.
is not Tyson
No, not
of
Tyson.
Moyamba Junction.
No, not
Mike Tyson.
Not to Tyson at PZ.
Exactly, the boxer.
Yeah, Mike Tyson, the legend from the United States, was
Yes.
in China. So I showed up to the audition. The director looks at me and says, "Call this guy," because back then there's something about my demeanor, my physique, and everything else. He says to me, "Do you box?" I was like, "Yeah, I do martial arts. I do boxing. I do kung fu." So okay. So let's just see your boxing moves. So I did a short, maybe 30 seconds, jab, step, and all that kind of stuff. He says, okay. He says, okay, I want to see you with a shaved head, right? So he shaved my head. So, okay, let's put on a Mike Tyson tattoo on you. Let's see if it works. So they put it on me. I have the picture on my phone. And next thing I know, a week later, I got this call. You got the role. I have 2 roles in that movie.
Okay.
I was Mike's stunt double. I was also a captain in the military. Just the experience of being with Mike Tyson and Steven Seagal. And the biggest learning curve for me was I had a fight scene with Seagal for 2 weeks, every day fighting. Because in the way you shoot a movie, maybe that scene is only 3 minutes, but it takes a long time to shoot
so
it.
he has that, yeah.
Yeah, so that was an incredible experience for me. But the movie you mentioned, the One Night Stand, that is somebody else's movie. That's my partner's movie.
Okay.
I'm not in One Night Stand. I would have loved to be. But definitely the China Salesman was a blessing, man. It opened me to the world, and it's the first time Sierra Leoneans took notice of who I am and what I do because I was with those guys. And it went global. It's on Netflix, and it just gave me a different standing in the acting world where I feel like if you mention me in an acting sense from that perspective, people will say, yes, we know him. But when you're a stunt double, you don't get all the accolades because you're just a double.
Exactly.
But my cameo role was also pretty solid. So China Salesman was definitely a benchmark for me, and I really, really enjoyed it.
You really enjoyed it. So that is a platform you've laid for yourself.
Yes.
It's now a route you have the opportunity to explore all through life. So what are you looking forward to in years to come?
It's actually opened up a few doors. After the China Salesman movie, which featured Mike Tyson and Steven Seagal, I have done a few TV series. I had a very good role, a speaking role in a TV series that was big in China. But ultimately, right now, I'm in a huge space where I'm kind of conflicted because I do like doing sports presentation, which we'll get to in a minute, the football thing. I love it. But what's really killing me right now is when you're on TV as a presenter and you want to be an actor, it's like choosing 2 things.
Okay.
Because a movie can be long. Let's say, for example, they need you for 4 months. But I cannot take 4 months off because I work for the Bundesliga officially. So sometimes I take short roles for like a week, 5 days, but I can't do something long term. But this year, I have to decide if finally, do I want to remain as a presenter, a TV personality, or I want to carry on as an actor. So that decision has to be made full-time this year. One of my resolutions I've made, I've prayed over it, and then I'll reach a consensus very soon. So I juggle both.
So the point here is you have been kind of limited in a way because of being indecisive.
I was even called to audition for a Jackie Chan movie. I even showed my agent called me, we need you, come to Mongolia. I had a good role. But I had to go to Germany to do a documentary. So I had to sacrifice the movie for the documentary. I did a documentary about the Berlin Wall. You're going to see it very soon, very good. It's because it's the 30th anniversary of the collapse of East and West Germany. Okay. So I chose the documentary because that's where officially I'm employed. And I didn't go for the Jackie Chan movie. So I'm definitely limited in my scope in what I can do. So, but that's life. You take what you get.
Yeah, for sure. God is going to put you through and making the right decision will get you to the mountaintop of your desire, as you will like it. You just mentioned, how do I call it? Documentary,
yes.
which is also another element when it comes to acting. It could be, voice acting or whatever. So how is that feel going as well? Because
that is
you have a lot of things, a lot of products in that particular. Of course, I can talk about Panorama, which is a news magazine show that you host. Also Inside 11, a magazine show as well. African Asian Award Night, talk about the showbiz stuff. Catherine de France runway show, Beijing, Sierra Leoneans Pavilion at One Belt.
I was
Road
the host.
Initiative.
You know my history.
Yeah, I know a little bit about you. Thank you very much. My producer have done a good job.
Yeah, well, I have to buy the producer a drink after this. That is fantastic. All the things I've done. I even forgot some of them because, wow. The thing about documentaries, I think the biggest break for me was when I went to Russia, and it was big. Actually, my documentary, the World Cup Tracker, it was on your channel SLBC. It was also on AYV. It was on Star TV. So basically, I was the one that was sent from Africa to cover the World Cup. So I went to all the host cities in Russia, and this documentary now is available in Chinese, in French, in Swahili, and that was just imagine when you're a kid in Freetown in Sierra Leone, right? You're watching the World Cup on a black and white TV.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And you have to fix the antenna because it's not very clear and it's shaky and it's wobbly. And then you are the guy that goes to the World Cup itself. You're doing a documentary, you're covering every event, you're at the games doing it. For me, that was a huge break. And you mentioned the Inside 11, that's also like a magazine show that encapsulates football, tennis, and different sports. The Catherine de France was a huge thing I hosted in China with different personalities from around the world. But the big one, where we get this Belt and Road, Sierra Leone and China, we have a good cooperation. So the ambassador spoke to me, says, we're looking for a host. You know, you're Sierra Leonean, you're in China, so come and host this thing. So I went there, and it was beautiful. You know, we had dignitaries from both countries. We showed our culture to China, what we are capable of. So it was just a blessing for me to do all those things. And all of these things you mentioned have happened actually in 2019.
Awesome.
So last year was very jam-packed. It was very successful. I just thank the Lord for my blessings. It's been very good so far.
Yeah, just before we cross over to sports, which
Yes.
is in the first place why you are here, you understand?
Yeah.
You know, these are things that you don't get to go through without challenges.
True.
You know, so challenges are must be. You know, so when you sit down back and look at inside the challenges in the, you know, can you count them for us? Where exactly?
Challenges.
And by the way, this is a Creole program.
I did try.
Yeah, try
Okay,
small,
not at all. I did talk the cool.
I know.
So I think challenges, the problem I can face most time while I travel. For example, I been at the Basketball World Cup in 2019. Now maybe they cover the 5 African teams will go to the Basketball World Cup. So sometimes when you're an African guy, you know, you travel around the world, you get to face some setbacks.
Yeah, some questioning.
Some
Yes.
questioning, you know.
Who is it? Where is it
Yeah,
from?
all
And
of
then
a
you say
sudden.
Sierra Leone. Where is that?
Yes.
I know.
I remember why I go do the documentary na Berlin. So the lady will be there in charge of me asked me, where you from? I told first she asked me my name, I gave her my full name. We talk. We talked for over 2 hours. Then she had assumed I was from one country and we don't talk to her. And I said, hey, man, usai komasi salon. Her eyes was like, huh? Sierra Leone? You know, and then she starts talking about, you know, the Ebola and the war. I said to her, Sierra Leone is a beautiful country. We get all kinds of talent. We get people who do several things. So I want to be an ambassador for Sierra Leone. So when you see me, it's like a microcosm of what Sierra Leone can be. So yeah, I face some challenges. Obviously, sometimes in this industry, we didn't choose possible for Sengo cover these events. Omawango. I'm not the only host in the channel. So Omawango travel, Omawango, yeah. But ultimately, if you want to be
Particularly
the best,
to spotlight events
yes.
like that.
So
Where the whole world is glued.
it's have to sabotage you, and so I've been through a lot. But I think my mom's prayers, my prayers, all those things have helped me, and ultimately, I'm just happy that when it comes down to it, for the big events, mostly I've been called upon, and I'm trying to do the best I can do to put Salone on the map. And so far, so good. I think I'm doing okay. I'm grateful.
Okay, let's talk about integration
Yes.
as a challenge.
Integration, okay, let's say first we go China, right? Now, I do a documentary recently where it documents my life as an African in China. Firstly, language barriers, right?
Yeah.
Chinese is the most obscure language in the world. You cannot write Chinese. Okay, let's say for example, when I go to Russia, I can write Russian in a day because they have ABC. You're not going to know to the right, but you're able to write them. Chinese, impossible. So language barriers, different skin color, culture, just a lot of things. But most importantly, the difference of culture. Maybe in Salon, they do this thing this way. In Germany, they do it this way. In Russia, they do it this way. So for you go able to settle down, you have to find a way for be more global in your thinking. And sometimes it can bring some issues. When I go to China, for example, I'll give you a simple story. We do this for shaking like this, right?
Okay.
Right. But if you shake a Chinese female's hand, if not to your girlfriend, not to your partner, you can't do this.
Do this way. Ah.
It's rude. So the team said, for the one. Quickly. But me, no. So the first time me boss.
How are you? And that will come as a complete shocker.
See? So she can assume, this guy is so rude, he's so over-sexualized, why is he holding me like this? But my boss be so nice, he called me after a week. He said, Randall, come. I said, yes, man. He said, in Chinese culture, for shape. So all those things, culturally you learn from them.
Yeah, sure.
So obstacles are there, but you live and you learn. If you make a mistake, you move on to the next stage and just keep going. But I don't make a lot of mistakes. I'm far from infallible, man. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life.
Such is life. You always make those mistakes.
You win and lose.
Them. Exactly. So
yeah.
So I mean, it's an excitement, being.
So they shake like Chinese now.
Yes. Yeah, this is what we are made for. This is Orange Football Special. I remember it's supported by Orange, the lead telecom service provider in the country, and Orange will give you the opportunity for now follow the Sierra Leone Premier League live. Every other match they play at the Siaka TV Stadium, on the Priority Solution page, on the SLPL page, on the Premier League board page, on the Orange page, so you get the opportunity regardless of where you are. So for sure, Randall, for example, can now be in Beijing and follow the Sierra Leone Premier League. So it's an opportunity for all of us. Orange, they tight one in a good relationship with the Football Association, with a partner, with the Sierra Leone Premier League board for support the Premier League. And for that reason, every other match you don't play now the Premier League so far, one player for every match don't take home the man of the match award. Also, they take an R6 plus, techno phone way worth around 700,000 plus 1 million top up for every match. So about 26 matches they don't play and 26 Sierra Leoneans they don't take home, 26 phones and 26 million. You know what? Wow. I want to retire, from what I do and go back to playing football. Sure. If I go up and play football and win 10 man of the match award, I open small business. I have 10 million worth of top up and I need enough to open a telecenter business for me plus 10 phone. That's a huge sum of money, or a source for starting business. Keep watching. We will bring to you more excitement. So we'll come back in the second segment of this show. We'll start to go into football and sport proper.
I can't have this man food.
Sambo!
Amigo, una save on cam. Blesz, one more rest, take up. Yes, I did.
This way, you. Who say pull money from my boku rest with the big fish lesson?
The money when you give me for my top up, sir.
The money will kill for my top up. If you don't call all the people that all day at the list,
I don't call all man with Chacha 1,000.
Tata 1,000.
Yes!
And in my money will kill. Get up. Let me see if I can Chacha the balance.
Chacha 1,000. Wow. Enjoy 10 minute talk for small money when a 1,000 euros. Just dial star 808 for subscribe and you 10 minutes go start one time. It's so easy. Chacha 1,000. You go talk sote.
Orange.
Welcome back to the show. Of course, you watch Orange Football Special, where you follow on FTN, Winner Freetown Television Network, and also on our YouTube channel, of course, our Facebook page as well. Get an opportunity for press that like button or make a comment in relation to what you think about the show. What for you? Like I said, this is 2020, so it's all new, and it's not just a new year; it's a new decade. We span for 10 years, so much for look forward to. And last year, or last season, we get an exciting Sierra Leone Premier League. We don't get for a little over 4 years or under 5 years, and now we don't get a continuation of that. And for the first time in the history of Sportsnas Salon, where you have to go back to 2003 for remember the last ever Sierra Leone team reached a semi-finals of any event, one of these under 70 World Cup, when we play against, Cameroon in the semi-finals, and eventually, we played against, I think it was Benin in the semi-finals and Cameroon in the finals, and we went on to qualify for the World Cup. It's been a long time. So, just because of what we do last season, this year, last year, 2019, we'll get a Sierra Leonean team in the WAFU tournament. We play all the way to the semi-finals and be knocked courtesy of a penalty where they miss. Again, in fact, the penalty, now the player feign the penalty, like where they run towards the kick, they feign, so they disallow that particular kick. So the excitement is looming. We get so much for look forward to. And Orange Football Special is excited with support from Orange for bring to you all of the news. And guess what? The current goal king of WAFU, and WAFU, a combination of some West Africa countries, na Sierra Leonean. courtesy of the league where they play. So, Lord continue for turnout and the respective venues, Orange behind the Sierra Leone Premier League board, and the Sierra Leone Premier League board, headed by, I wanted to say Imane Safa Abdullahi, but not Imane Safa Abdullahi. His time of past he did last year, and this year is Ali Vani Koroma, ASP. Well, I think the chairmanship of the Premier League board is now about lawyers. So me and you engineers like we have no chance. Well, a time for Lord talking about football and sports in general, but football in particular, because this show is about football. And tonight we'll get a Sierra Leonean who they do a young beat for ensure that he not only put Sierra Leone on the map, but what they do, they ensure that it get connection with Sierra Leone. Because like he mentioned, when you there out there and you say, I'm from Sierra Leone, it's like, where is that from? You go begin to struggle the points on the map. People have to talk about, you are talking about the Rebel and Ebola. Someone told me about Roof, and I was confused. What's Roof? I said, I stayed in Sierra Leone throughout the war. I don't know about I said, RAF. I said, oh, yes, RAF. I said, oh my God. So it's good that we get things that all the points at, So I mean, he has a platform here. He's doing very well with Star TV, and of course, now that make all round football special. Don't go out for ensure that we host them so that you know exactly what they do. Now, in your world, of course, he's Godfrey Lloyd Randall, wonderful name, an actor, a TV host, a show host, and guess what? A motivational speaker as well, a documentary maker, a man of many colors, right? Like you say, we see coats of many colors. It's very exciting. Well, now I want to bring to you exactly what's in this Monday about. And for that, I want to tell the viewers that, look, we have what we call the German Bundesliga. And Star TV or Star Times TV, have the broadcast rights to the German Bundesliga. This young man is the host and follows that through and through. And away from that, of course, he also do live reporting from the stadium then in Germany. He was in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. We'll go talk about that, the FIFA U20 World Cup, FIFA World Club Cup, European qualifiers, ICC, that is European Football Preseason Tournament, which can take place in China, the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup, Coppa Italia, Confederation Cup, Bellator, MMA, when a fighting thing, quite a few, Panorama, when a news magazine show that covers all major sporting events over the weekend. And guess what? After the show, the Sierra Leone Premier League will be featured in the particular event, even like just a small segment of it. You could also need that platform.
Yes.
So these things are huge. So how do you really cope with all of this stuff?
It's tough. The first thing, that pressure. For example, I went to do the Klassiker, which are the biggest game in Germany, Bayern Munich and Dortmund. Right? So you go to the stadium, the preparation first, they blow you away. The precision with German people, they're so time conscious. Everything is done precisely. So when you're at the stadium now, you don't see Matthias Zama, you don't see Kufor. All of a sudden, they put you at the field before the game. And when you do live reporting from a stadium, it's not a derby. It's loud, right?
Yeah, there's so much. So you have to talk from the top of your voice.
You see, so on one hand, you want to stay focused when they ask you a question for present the show. On the other hand, the background, they disturb you, right? So the first thing you have to overcome is your nerves, and you have to stay composed because it's going live, obviously. We broadcast to over 35 African countries, Sierra Leone included. So that itself is pressure. Then secondly, just the fact that you are there doing it. You meet so many different people from different. I spoke to the goalkeeper of the man for Arsenal. What the name said? The tall guy. Jens Lehmann. So I did at the corridor. Jens passed me. So I just say hi, Jens. He looked back and I say, "Who do you work for?" I told him. So all those guys, I wouldn't say they're my friends per se, but if they see me somewhere, they will know I know this dude, right? And the person I don't get the best friendship with right now, Dortmund striker. Eden Hazard in board at Sogan Hazard.
Okay.
He's the most easygoing guy. Even when I go there for the Bayern Munich and Dortmund game, or man, they fed for the interview. So I just ask, I say, Thogan, because I've done an interview him before, we did Mönchengladbach. I say, can I have an interview? Yeah, sure, bro, no problem. See, like that. Because he knows me. And also the rapport I don't build with them. Some player I don't like when they ask them some intrusive question. If they feel say you're not a douchebag, then they'll avoid you. But because I know how to deal with them, every time I go, then they respond to me. So all those things, man. But the biggest one, obviously, not be the World Cup because now they all the creme de la creme they go. And I've been flying
yes, probably before we go to that, I want to take you a little bit back. You had an interview session for a job at Star Times TV. And then you went through the interview, and then you came to Star Times. several platforms. Yeah. How come sports?
The funny thing is, anybody who said me when they grew up in a secular would be no say this guy was sport oriented. Even when we did grammar school, I was a member of the grammar school quiz team, right? And in that quiz team, they in fact to get the boss of ACC now, Francis Ben Faikafa, now before in that team there. So now me and my other party now we cover sports. So I've always been into sports. I run for my primary school. I run for grammar school. I play cricket for grammar school. I took the highest number of wickets in a Salon league ever in secondary school. I took 7 wickets against model school. So I was naturally athletic. And when I be grow up, I be do them side commentary in a Blackfield and Paris. We love Divine the French guy. I mean, I was maybe 11. It was like 35 where they encouraged me. So I've been to this for quite a while. You know, it's not like all of a sudden I woke up doing sports. So I had a sport connection. Then I felt like I had the... now somebody came to me, says to me, you have the voice, you have the charisma, and also I feel like the way you project things, this could work. Now I'd make Ivy go to my first audition, then I go to start times, I do the audition as well. That's how everything just came to fruition. So I've been into sports for quite a while, on all levels, grammar school, FPC primary, even commerce. The 1 year I went for commerce as well by the inter-university game. So I've always been very athletic and sportive. So that's a surprise.
So let's talk about your first show.
Yes.
For sports on that TV.
It was nerve-wracking. You know, what you do so right now, somebody say Benson, Benson, the job is easy, but all man can do it. It's not.
Yeah, I know.
But no, trust me, all man feels able to do what you do right now, right? So my first show, I was very confident I'd done the audition. In the way you do audition, it's different. Wouldn't say this is your first show and it's live. There's no room for error. Exactly. It was not pre-recorded. So I remember I wouldn't say count down to 3, 2, 1, action. Wow. It was something. Yeah. You know. So it was very nerve-wracking because my first show I do not be I think that was the Under-20 World Cup. I don't remember which year it was. That my first show I started. Okay. And once you overcome that butterfly in your stomach, you get going, eventually you just get used to it. But it was very, very nerve-wracking. Yeah. What we do is not easy. Not everyone can do this. It's that simple.
So now football, the ultimate goal of every footballer is to play in the World Cup.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I would say my ultimate goal as an anchor, as a reporter, is to one day show up at the World Cup.
Yes.
By the way, I have been to World Cup events, but not football.
Also, you don't go?
Beach volleyball.
Did you see the female version?
That's
why you went.
I'm a beach volleyball referee, by the way. An international beach volleyball referee.
Pitch also.
Yeah. You know, so I know what it means for them at that particular stage there. Yeah. You know, and when we talk about the process of getting you involved, like you mentioned, you are not the only person in the sport team at start times. Yeah. You know, so you have several other competing, you know, with the competitors. So reaching at that decision and getting you informed, a young man, you have to be on the flight.
I was elated. I was elated, man. I remember I called me mama. I tell her and say, guess what? You remember I be the watch game na TV na host to we in a circular road and I be the bug me daddy from fix the antenna. I said, it's all worth it. He said, wait, what are you talking about? I said, I just gave me Russian visa. I can go Russia now. And she said, what you go to the Russia? Russia. I don't be good for it. What you go to Russia? I said, I had to go cover the World Cup. My mom just yelled on the phone, congratulations. She was very thankful. And the thing is, when I arrived in Russia, you know, sometimes it takes a while to hit you. You know, I'm a kid from Sierra Leone. I came from a very moderate family. I not beget money where I grew up. I'm very humble from humble family. So being in Russia on the ground, actually doing this, and not only doing this, but being shown. I get people from Mozambique, Zambia, text me, bro. From a documentary, we learned so much about Russian history, Russian football. They text me on my Facebook. That in itself is just the most incredible feeling. So going to Russia and doing the World Cup, being around the players, the setup, building up the stadiums. Even when they build the stadiums, I was there.
Wow. So
for me, it's definitely one of the highlights of my career, and it's something I would never, ever forget. So I want to thank my boss for giving me the opportunity. Boss, you're watching here. It was a very special moment. I will never forget it. I went to all 11 cities, all. Moscow, Ekaterinburg, St. Petersburg, Kazan, one more, Volgograd. I went.
So those are multiple stops, and of course that during the course of your coverage of the match, you know, you do the documentary.
Yeah.
In all of those stops, which one have been the most exciting moments for you? Because there is this thing I know, knowing that I follow you sometimes as well. We get for do with this stadium where you visit, which is like green, white, and blue.
Yes.
And then you say, this could be home.
I remember the first time when I reached the city of Samara, I was floored because me being Sierra Leone, I'm very familiar with the green, white, and blue. When I reached Samara, I realized the national colors of Samara is green, white, and blue. And automatically, when I arrived at the stadium, the entire field was built same green, white, and blue. So automatically, I told the local people that they even do a pre-game interview with me on the side. I said to them, "You have a new fan." It's immediate, right?
Yeah.
You see green, white, and blue. You're in a foreign soil. The only difference is they have a small thing in the white, maybe a small logo. But I was just overwhelmed. Even me Chinese colleagues, we all dressed up in green, white, and blue. My face was painted green, white, and blue. So just being there, representing Sierra Leone in Russia, in a country that has only few Africans, was a thing of it. So I'm definitely a fan of Samara. Now, by far, my most impressive moment when I was in Russia, because just seeing the flag, I mean, what else? What else can you say? Was incredible.
Was there any moment during those tops where you go say, I wish I was not here? It's
Never.
difficult to come back.
Never, because every day was a blessing. Just being there, I was thinking, man, I'm going through a very special moment. So from the first day to the final of the World Cup itself, between France and Croatia, it was a very magical period.
Yeah, so let's go educative a bit. You being an educator.
Yes.
We have a lot of journalists in Sierra Leone,
Yeah.
a lot of aspiring journalists. We have a lot of aspiring anchors for
Yeah.
sports and other shows. So just before now, when you be to talk to me about, your first time, really on TV, when the countdown goes,
Yeah.
the moment is approaching, that kind of nerve control, for really get it going, and then eventually, you get to go out to cover matches, they come across people different culture, like you talk about the Shekan just now,
Yeah.
approach. So waiting are the things that we for put into Dande for really make you better, like you are doing such a job, such a platform.
Actually, somebody now on our station reached out to me on Facebook. I was very pleased. He added me. He asked me a very kind question, bro. I've seen your shows. How can I improve? As a journalist, you have to be well read. These days, everything's on social media. People don't know what to read. You have to read. That's one thing. And also, the second thing where I feel so you have to be very prepared. For example, I did go Russia. I knew I did do a documentary on all the cities. Before I even get there, I don't read a lot.
About the cities.
Yes. So, as a
Yeah,
journalist, you
well.
have to be very well informed. You read a lot, well informed. And also, a thing that cannot be taught, though, is to be calm under pressure. I mean, you can go to the
It
best.
comes with experience.
Yeah, with time.
Time and
You can go to the
experience.
best acting coach, you can go to the best director, but no one can teach you how to control your emotion. And as a TV presenter, that is that's the most paramount, especially your cadence, your voice tonation, your change of angles and things of that nature. I think with practice, it will come, but never be afraid to ask questions. Me, I dey learn from you, even while I sit Arabic. I dey watch what you do, I dey learn. Because none of us is perfect.
Exactly.
The young ones, they want to do things very quickly and
Immediately.
quickly. If you meet somebody to do one before you, humble yourself. If you get any questions, say, how can I improve? Ask and you shall learn. So learn from people, read, be prepared. And also when you're put in a spot, no say this can make or break you. Given an opportunity, give it all you got. When I go for my first audition, if I be screw 'em up, I would not be here right now.
Exactly. It takes one opportunity
That's
to
it,
break
man.
through.
Not two, just one. So when you get for example, 2 days ago, I know I'm deviate, but I went to an audition for a movie. One picking go audition, and she was joking. So I call her, I say,
Lifetime opportunity.
yeah, I say, you want to be an actor? This is not a joke. It's an audition. If you want joke, go be a jester. So when I get opportunity, hold out two hands, work hard, study hard, prepare, read, and the rest will take care of the rest. That's my best advice to young ones coming.
Yeah, so the key element here is preparation. And
You have to
I
be prepared.
know of situations where you have match day commentators arriving maybe 1 minute before the start of
No,
the
you
match.
can't do that.
Arriving very late, not even having the team sheets.
You can't do that.
Because if you want to, knowing the caliber of people the way you did, okay, we are lucky in this part of the world, yeah, because we're kind of familiar. You are either Kamara Kuroma or
Yeah.
Cabo. You understand? You know, so but when you're doing situations like that where you are a conglomerate of people from different backgrounds with different names, so it's going to take time preparing, get through those names, really try to be familiar with them before you go on stage.
At Start Times, we have a policy. You have to be at the studio 2 hours 30 minutes before every show. No ifs and buts. If you're late, you will pay the price. So the reason why they give you that room now for you go there, familiarize yourself, know the players, because it's an international league. The pronunciation is very important because the German Bundesliga, they scrutinize we show. If we go off content, we say the wrong information, we get fined in euros. It's no joke. Germans are meticulous. When they watch we show, anything you deviate from, if you say the wrong things, you'll be in trouble. So preparation is key. 2 hours before every game, we're there every day. Sometimes I get to the studio at 4 a.m. in the morning because of the time difference between China and Germany, but I'm never late. You have to be there.
You have to be there.
Yes.
So, so for those young journalists, those young anchors who are watching, I'm also, part of, those bagwagon, if you like, so we all can learn from that. But I know for sure, like you mentioned, these are things where you really get for take time, you get for take your time, But one challenge we'll get in a salon always is about the way which the finance.
Yeah.
The institutions, okay, yes, they're employing the staff, but where they are being paid, they are not being paid with a very good sum of money. Yeah. And those who have been paid, after 5 months, they give them 3 months.
Yeah.
So there's this challenge always. But what can you say to wanting to make the grade, or just working for the pay?
I tell you, Bobo asked me the question, I tell him, he asked me a very simple question because I think they study now. He asked me, if this career will be so very profitable and if it's worth it. I tell him very simply, I say, if you're a doctor, you're guaranteed an income for the rest of your life. What we do is not guaranteed, right? So what I can tell you, if you want to do something, you get passion for do 'em. If you do it well, you never know what could happen. Exactly. But if you go into it just for money, so you need to put all your effort into it, it can cost you. So my only advice, if you want to take up anything like this, you have to have a passion for it. If you're into sports, be passionate about sport. If you want to do entertainment, no sin entertainment you're into. So we all need money, Benson. I can't lie to you. I mean, without money, we can't function. But let me say that your passion first, then I'm sure with the right commitment, and if you get the right output, everything else will follow eventually. So the right attitude, the right demeanor, then go determine the future. You cannot just go say, I want 1 million today. For example, different hosts get different level. Can't they say, I'll let them pay me like Lloyd? Because I've been doing this before you did this.
Sure.
Humble yourself, work hard, and things will work out for you.
Yeah, so it's about process.
Yes.
It's not just automatic.
It will never work that
way. It doesn't fall from the sky either.
It's a process.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it has been so much excitement here in the studios at Orange Football Special. And of course, this is made courtesy of Orange Sierra Leone, the lead telecom service provider in the country, the company we care about what it matters to you. And that could bring Lloyd now so they get an opportunity to get from him. First hand, I mean, of course, his type can be a Ghanaian, a Nigerian, but he's Sierra Leonean.
Yes.
So 100% Sierra Leonean. It's not just wanting to claim him. He's 100% Sierra Leonean. Went to the university primary school.
FBC primary.
Exactly. So FBC primary school, and then he cross country, going to grammar school. As a secondary school. So a complete Regentonian. Regent Olympics, by the way, still struggling.
We they come. We are doing things. I won't give you all the detail, but we are coming. But right now, I guess split loyalties because on one side I like Regent Olympics because I'm in school, but I'm also a huge fan of Central Parade because I was born in Central, raised in Central. I will die a Central Parade fan. It cannot, even if we get relegated, that's my team. I'm a loyal man, one team only, Central Parade. Regent Olympics, I love them. I will help them the best I can, but my loyalties right now lie between those two teams, definitely.
Just before I come on stage, you tell me about Bo Rangers, the big spenders. So my question is, how do you get to follow these teams?
Where are they, China? Actually, on my Facebook page, and the funny thing is, my co-host is a Canadian guy, but I've so indoctrinated him into Salon. Again, a Salon name, and one day we'll do a session, we'll get a lineup, because him being a white guy and Canadian, so I give him the lineup for Lions and Center Parade. If you fancy go on my Facebook, then go die with laugh. way they pronounce Salon names there, oh my God, it was hilarious. Way they pronounce. So actually, I've been following the league, and they do one promo per week for the Salon Premier League, and obviously, inside they help me. So we give them a dimension where it's not only a Sierra Leonean, but I bring a foreigner inside. My coach also from the Bahamas, I bring him inside. My friend, I get another coach from Spain, I bring her inside. I get all center parade vest, they wear them as well, take pictures. So now I'm drawing in Canadian fans, I'm drawing in Spanish fans, Cuban fans, Bahamas, Germans, right? So by doing this, at least there was no say football they play in a salon. And that is the only way. I cannot give Sierra Leone billions, I don't have it. But what I can get on my platform and for let the world see, say, even when they finish my Bundesliga show, they still tell the fans what they watch, say, right now my team central parade they play and I check on the score. Now just for letting get a dose of, say, I am Sierra Leonean and I follow the Salon League. And obviously, Bo Rangers, man, you know, fair. They're spending, they get all the best players right now. They don't see full player as well. Yes. Central parade, I'm not happy about that. They don't see better. Better. No comments. Yeah. But yeah, I love the league, man. I follow it religiously, actually, because I feel ultimately, even though I cover international leagues, I'm Sierra Leonean, and my loyalty, obviously, like I mentioned, I want the best for Central Parade. I know we'll not get the financial muscle, but it's my love. I grew up in that area, so I'm definitely loyal to Central Parade.
So, any hope for Central Parade? Because clearly the scene for the results suggest that they are struggling. But if you watch them play, they play beautiful football. Actually,
the owner of the club, I mean, I won't say a close friend, but we're in touch. And we have a small group now, WhatsApp for Central Parade fans. I'm in the group. I contribute when I can. I feel, say, financially we are lacking. And one thing I'm not glad about right now, the fact that we need training again at Central, which is what I got to hear when I came to Britain. That is, it's not good. So if we will do something like we train at Central, we not parade people in, let the club be around the fans, you know, because they don't go all the way Western, and that's not where we are. So I think, say, ultimately, with the player that we'll get, I think with the play with the right philosophy, I feel now the Ajax of Sierra Leone, tiki-taka. We play good football, man, but I feel, say, with the financial backing, I think we'll be okay. I love Central Parade. We play good football, and we will get there eventually with the right backing financially.
Will Lions retain the championship?
I doubt it. I feel it's a toss-up right now. I'd go with Bo Rangers, Lions, but never rule out FC Cologne. They can do things. So between those three teams, I get when you party with the work for Air Radio, now Edwardian fan, Super Large. I was on his show. Okay. Super Large, Edwards. I'm sorry, bro.
They are.
Not Pearl team, but But those three teams, I think, have a chance to win the league this year.
Okay, so as we close, we're going to go a little bit personal. Tell me a little bit about, you know, lifestyle generally, because sometimes what you present to the people is not actually what you do backstage. So.
I think the best way for describe me, I think I'm two different people. The funny thing is, when I'm off camera, I'm very quiet. I am very I won't say conservative, but I'm not very outgoing. Yeah. But also, I'm very curious. Like you mentioned, besides TV, I wrote a book last year. I like to read. I get different passion. I like to travel. But by and large, from personal perspective, I think I'm very quiet, easygoing. I just got engaged recently as well.
I was waiting whether you would get there or not.
Yeah. Obviously, to a Sierra Leonean coming back home to get engaged. And it was a thing of beauty. I like it because I feel like ultimately home is home. And with the cultural, sometimes when you date someone from a different culture, there are always cultural clashes. So coming back home was right.
And yours appears to be very unique because apart from the cultural clash, your lifestyle in terms of what you do, as far as public engagement is concerned, appears to be the same.
I like the word. Yes. It's very identical. And I think we push each other. We are very critical of each other. So I think sometimes they always say behind every strong man there's a woman. Yeah. Sometimes men can be very lackadaisical. You know, you want somebody to push you.
Exactly.
And she's very feisty, so then can push me as well for be more and work harder. So I think it's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing for all of us.
For all of you.
Yes. For the family too.
Exactly. Well, Fabian Swill is the main person. Well, you know, I mean, we know for sure that when you look at him, you know he's an eligible bachelor. So it's no longer available.
It's tough.
Now, I was going to ask you a silly question. You know,
go ahead.
How
I like silly questions.
How do you get to, when you look at your persona, you know, you appear very enticing, you know, so for sure you must have you know, a lot of advances being made in multiple ways. How do you get to control that?
If my wife, or she's my wife now,
Yeah,
if
for
she's
sure.
around me where I work, it will be tough for her because when you're a man in this field, but she's the same.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest. She has many options. Guys texting her, and when I'm with her, she has a million calls a day. But I'm kind of the guy, I don't really screen her calls. You know, but yeah, it's tough. Sometimes a girl from Kenya, she said I was gay. You know, because he didn't have the balance. I said,
Several
yeah,
times,
I'm in a
yeah,
relationship. She's like, oh, you have the over Africa, you do yeah. So it's tough, man. I can't sit there. I'm not a saint. It's tough. Sometimes people keep coming, and it's not easy being in the spotlight. You have many advances, and you have to be very dogged. It's not easy. It's
Yeah,
tough.
thank you very much. So as we close, I want to ask exactly what will be your parting shot to Sierra Leoneans, be they journalists, anchors, you know, football administrators, footballers, and what have you. Let's talk exactly waiting as far as from your platform, your own professional point of view. What would you want to say to them out there in relation to raising the game?
Very simple. Anything where you do, put Salon first. And when it comes to the national team, the whole thing of this coach wanting player for play, this coach wanting player for play. No. Ultimately, I know I live a very long, I'm not very, verbose or anything, but Lewy always puts the interest of Salon first. It's the simplest equation. If you put Salon first, everything else will fall into place. They will love with country, put the country first, and they'll make sure we do the right thing. If they put in a position for choose the right players, choose the players on merit, not because he plays for your club. Once we do that, I think the future is it's going to be very incredible for Sierra Leone.
Thank you.
Put Salon first, my family. That's
Yeah,
all.
for sure. Thank you very much. And I
Thank
look
you very
forward to a
much.
bright and prosperous 2020. And for sure,
praying.
God will guide you for take the right decision. We're going to take you to the right path. We're going to take you to the mountaintop of your desire.
Amen.
You know, as you
And
do
also,
that.
Happy New Year to all Sierra Leoneans. I love you all, and keep supporting us. Support Benson, support Orange, because if we support ourselves as Sierra Leoneans, we can reach the mountaintop. I love you all. Stay blessed. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. I've been your host, and this is our first show for 2020. Engineer Mohammed Benson Bao. On behalf of my producer and of course the man behind the camera, the magician, I go home for very many reasons. We're not can see him, you know. But last year I make a promise that before the turn of the year, I go turn the camera to us when I go see him face, and we did that. And of course that face will not change it. If it change at all by the close of 2020, I will do the same. I mean, keep watching Oran Football Special and support us wherever we go.
Orange.